We must not hate those who have done wrong to us, for as soon as we hate them, we become just like them.
Welcome to another episode of Stuff Like Movie Reviews. Today, I'll be going over All Eyez on Me, but first, let's recap recent movies that we did see. First, let's go to me from 3 weeks ago, who saw Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tale. All right, me from 3 weeks ago.
Thank you, future me. Yes, I did in fact go see Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. And it was okay. I mean, I liked it better than Stranger Tides. The first one, though, with the gold, that one was my favorite. That's because everyone, you just got to know everyone, and they didn't, stick to the roles so hard, or they didn't change in any way, because Johnny Depp's version of Jack Sparrow kind of shifts every now and then. The first one, he was, confident. He wasn't, I don't know, kind of goofy in a way. I don't think he was in the first one, at least as much as other versions. And then apparently this version, all I could think of is that apparently with alcohol, drunk Jack Sparrow turns into the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, because that's kind of the vibe I got from it, honestly. So it wraps up loose ends, but it's still kind of well, I mean, I guess if you had to, I was fine where it ended, honestly. I'm who's taking care of the dead now that die at sea? Is that no one's job? Is anyone in charge of that? And then who was the other witch that they got the information from? I thought that was weird. I was is it Calypso in a different form? I don't know. So honestly, if you still want to go see it, it's up to you. I mean, it's kind of worth at least the dollar theater. At this point, I wouldn't really say main theaters unless maybe you got a cheap theater that $5 a ticket, like we do. So yeah, you could do that. As far as the DVD and Blu-ray, I mean, if you go at the collection, you'll probably finish it off. So it's up to you. Anyway, back to you, me in the future. Savvy.
Thank you, me from 3 weeks ago. You look great. All right, now let's go to Vanessa, who saw Wonder Woman, and see what her thoughts on it were. Vanessa?
Thank you, Alex. If you haven't seen Wonder Woman, go watch it. If you've already seen it, go watch it again. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on popcorn and candy, and you're still curious to see how the movie turned out, then wait until it gets to the dollar theater and then go watch it. Wonder Woman has been a successful blockbuster film since the day it came out. And that brought me so much hope to the DC franchise. After watching Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman was just like, I got this. She kicked everyone's asses in high heels, which is probably the only very minor problem that I had about the movie. She's wearing high heels. Boots I understand, but I can barely work an 8-hour shift in high heels. But I mean, that's why she's Wonder Woman and I'm not. It was an amazing movie, so you should go watch it. It was awesome. Alex, boom.
Thank you for that, Vanessa. As a team, we decided to give Wonder Woman a 9.5 out of 10, which is really good. And Pirates, though, only got a 6 out of 10. It was better than the last, but it wasn't better than the rest. All right. Now let's go on with All Eyez on Me, which follows the life of the mega superstar and the legend Tupac Shakur. All right, so we're in a weird situation where in recent years we've seen Notorious, the life of Biggie, kind of put up to the big screen, and then we saw Straight Outta Compton, which followed the time of NWA with Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Eazy-E. But you would think I left Straight Outta Compton feeling wowed when I left the movie. I was like, now that was a good movie. That was a good movie. The way they put it together, the stories, the actors, everything, I thought just wove together perfectly. Now, when I went to go see All Eyez on Me, when the credits started rolling, kind of felt underwhelmed. I kind of felt like it did not meet my expectations of the movie. And I don't think it's the acting. The acting I thought was great, everyone that stars in it. But the way it was put together, I just did not like. It's almost as if the person that designed the movie Googled what are the best moments of Tupac's life or biggest highlights, and kind of got a YouTube compilation of all that. That's kind of what it felt like, honestly. Like they just kind of did big pieces, and they just, I don't know, it just didn't flow together as a movie. I feel like there's probably a better way. Like as is, I saw Straight Outta Compton. I thought that did a really great job of it, and that had to deal with like kind of the three main, and then of course MC Ren and DJ Yella on the side too. Like their life stories a little bit, and like they were able to balance that out pretty well. Notorious focused on just Biggie, and that seemed to, for the most part, that was a decent movie. Of course, it's to me it felt a little biased, being I grew up on Tupac, so that's kind of that's my dude right there. So the Biggie one I thought was put together really well as a movie. This Tupac one did not feel like it. They start off in an interview situation, and then they kind of do like pieces of his past, kind of reliving them through his head and his memories. And then at the end, they kind of catch up with the interviewer, and so they kind of go about the last year and a half-ish of his life left when he leaves prison with death row and all that kind of stuff. But it just did not... The formula for the movie, I felt like, did not work. And I'm kind of disappointed because this is a movie it just didn't feel like it had the backing power. Like you saw Straight Outta Compton's like powerhouse of like people wanting to see it, talking about it, but for the most part, All Eyez on Me was pretty quiet, at least until this last week. I didn't even start seeing the movie trailers on TV. So I don't know if it was they just didn't believe in it, because as is, they've had directing issues in the past. This has always been a movie people wanted to see, but it was always kind of like, well, can someone handle this kind of movie? Because there's more to Tupac than just the music. There was his, they really focused on his time in court, but like they kind of hopped over a few things. They didn't focus too hard on the Biggie situation, at least in my eyes. All right, now finally, what did I think of the movie? First, I'm going to go over kind of the critic scores first and kind of compare, then I'll give you my answer. So, All Eyez on Me currently has a Metascore of 40. It's not great. To compare that, Straight Outta Compton got 72, and Notorious got 60. So, it's trailing at the moment. Rotten Tomato-wise, they got a 24% for All Eyez on Me. That's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Straight Outta Compton though, 87%. That is a high score. 51% for Notorious. So you know, a little bit better in the middle there. Audiences for All Eyez on Me gave it a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. So the audience at least kind of is giving it a shot. I don't know if those are hardcore fans or not, or if it's just general people that want to know more about Tupac. Like if you don't know a lot about Tupac, this movie will give you some answers. There's like the beginning things. I'm sure people are like, oh, he's from yeah, oh, he wasn't from yeah. See, exactly. And Straight Outta Compton though, 91% audience rating. That is a good score. That's an audience rating. To me, that's pretty awesome. To compare it, though, Notorious got a 65% by audience, so you know it's not great. So I'm gonna kind of meet in the middle with all the critics. So I'm not gonna bury this movie entirely, but I'm gonna kind of meet in the middle with critics and the audiences, because right now I'm giving it 5 out of 10. I don't want to give it a 5 out of 10. I don't think it should have been anywhere close to a 5 out of 10. But for me, it is a 5 out of 10, and it hurts me. I am a big Tupac fan, so this is kind of tough for me to take. So, I don't know. If you want to go see it in theaters, it's more up to you. If you're kind of interested, maybe wait to the dollar theater. That might be better. If you want to buy it, that's all up entirely to you. I mean, I don't even know if that's like a $5 movie, honestly. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. Let's just be honest. I don't blame the crew and the cast at all. I mean, I think they did great, what they were given. But it just did not. Whoever was apparently trying to make it so different than the other ones completely messed it up, I think.
For my world to live, yours must die.
That's right, we have a part 2 to this one. And yes, it's starting to go on a little long, so I'll keep this one simple and easy. For the Transformers movie, if you really want to see it, then you probably did see it. If you're still wondering if you want to go see it, then if you like the last one, then you probably be in luck. But if you did not like the last one, this doesn't help at all. I didn't like it all that much, honestly. I'll give you my quick rating. I gave it a 4 out of 10. It just feels like the same movie kind of over and over again. Like, there's a human aspect that we spend too much time on, where I'm like, it's a Transformers movie. They shouldn't be secondary characters in their own movie. And right now, most critics agree. They've given them, the Metascore is like 28. And it's just not doing too great right now. I mean, it's going to make the money. It's just not getting a high rating. And I'm kind of bummed it's going to make the money, because honestly at this point I'm just like, just end it now. Put it out of its misery. And let's wait like 10 more years and let's reboot it again. But let's do a whole different spin on it. Let's just focus on the world of the Transformers. Because since the first one they made, they've talked about Optimus and Megatron being brothers at one point. And that's something because of how they laid it all out, they can't even go back and do. Because at the beginning, Optimus didn't start off as Optimus. He was Orion Paxton, I think was his name. And he became Optimus once he got the Matrix of Leadership, which they introduced in the second one. So, that one's kind of already sailed. You need to redo all of it. And then the questions I still have, like Megatron was Galvatron in the last one and became Megatron again in this one. And I know he has the mark of Quintessa, but they don't really explain that at all. Like, apparently he's working for her, but I would have liked to see, like, okay, you had no spark, you're Galvatron, you want to be Megatron again? He's like, okay, yes, fetch my spark back. And yeah, I mean, at this point, just put it out of its misery. I mean, at least the only thing I did like, they kind of kept most of the same Transformers in it. And so, they've had a reputation of like, okay, they're new ones, we don't know what happened to the old ones, so don't ask about them. I'm like, where did they go? Did they die? I mean, can we at least know that much? But no, we don't get to know that much. And of course, the same issues that they've always had, like, so many explosions and special effects. I mean, it's all there. The weird racist things, like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's kind of weird that they had Transformers or Decepticons in a jail, and they were kind of like wearing gold chains and talking with like a slang. Like, what are we trying to say about like the Decepticons that were in jail? Like, jail just creates them like that? Because I don't think that's the deal. It kind of felt racist to me, but that's, my opinion. And at least this time the lead female, she was smart. And of course she's still eye candy, but at least this time she was smart. The other ones, they've only been eye candy. And it's always been weird in the Michael Bay movies, because like they always portray the lead female as younger than we should be interested in. For instance, like Megan Fox's character was in high school. We didn't really get an age on Blake Lively's character in the other one, but she was older, I think, at least college ages. But, and then the girl from the last one was also in high school, and she was just eye candy, and it's like, well, this is kind of weird. Like, at least this time she was set in a career and professional, and actually was kind of the savior in her own way. She was the only one that could use the Merlin staff, which was cool. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to see it, go see it. I wouldn't pay a whole lot of money for this one. Maybe by then they'll get the idea that, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. Let's reboot it. Like, I'm okay with a reboot on this one. I really am. And then if you don't want to give the Transformers a shot, then how about a Beast Wars movie? Just throwing that out there. If anyone that remembers Beast Wars, that was a good series. I'd love to see Dinobot in there, and in real life. Well, CGI, it's real life, but let's make it happen. All right. Thank you for watching. I'm Alejandro Velasquez, and this is Stealth Flight Movie Reviews. Tune in next week, and we'll see what we got next.